versus Athletic in all-men play. Now in co-ed action, GBPA regulators took down immigration enforcers 12-10. In the third game, Cooper's Destroyers dominated Child's Investments 13-4, and Pat's Uniform got a huge win against one family. The final score on that one was 16-1. From the Diamond to the Hardwood, Jonquil, Jones, and the New York Liberty fell short to Golden State 66-58 on the road. Jones did not have a strong showing in this one, as she was held to just 5 points and 4 rebounds on the night. With the loss, New York drops to 24-17 on the season, with just 3 games remaining on the regular season. And last in sports, the Grand Bahama Tennis Association is hoping to someday introduce tennis in the high school system.
We're starting to work with the ministry and the PTA association. We'll have involved them in discussions to try and get tennis even as an introductory or demonstration type of thing, but we want to get tennis into the schools. That way we can fast track the development of tennis on the island of Grand Bahama.
And that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. A 10% reciprocal tax levied on the Bahamas as part of the ongoing economic policies under the Trump administration. Find out how the Bahamas could be impacted long-term and what the government intends to do to offset these changes. Also, as the JCNP continues to agitate for revisions to the proposed National Junkanoo Authority bill, several planned meetings apparently have been delayed. Tonight, we hear from the organization on the way forward. Also, increasing female representation in the Houses of Parliament being weighed in on by some leading women. That's straight ahead. The Bahamas tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. While the Bahamas is a relatively small player in the global economy, the country remains closely tied to the outcomes of larger international trade decisions. And that's where the U.S. tariff comes in. The Bahamas is among several countries facing a 10% reciprocal tariff to export duty-free items to the U.S. However, Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis, underscored that shifts in the United States can influence the cost of goods imported in the Bahamas, affecting businesses and consumers alike. He also emphasized that although the Bahamas does not set these global rules, the nation must remain attentive to how soon changes filter down the local economy.
We've seen with this whole tariff saga that it's up and down and it's on, it's off, there's a truce, there's no truce, it's doubled, it's halved. And so we are small observers mostly in this clash of the titans. And so I would just encourage Bahamians to continue to judiciously manage their budgets where they can, and because the world is a different place. There's a lot of uncertainty. A lot of the old relationships have gone by the wayside, and so we control what we can control.
The government is also exploring ways to safeguard renters and the broader landlord-tenant relationship. Renters have expressed concern about high rental fees in this time of economic challenge. The Minister of Economic Affairs revealed to our Amaya Moss how the government is preparing to take this issue to Parliament.
Renting an apartment in the Bahamas can be a harrowing feat. Astronomical prices and the requirement to pay triple the rent just to move in. Take a look through the classified ads. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Sea Breeze is $1,600 per month. On Bacardi Road, $1,800. A two-bedroom house on Carmichael Road can run you into $2,600. And some landlords say no children or pets. These restrictions can feel impossible to attain as they limit the choice of renters and place a significant strain on household budgets. Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis, acknowledges the pressures faced by renters and says the government will address these concerns as early as next month.
We're currently looking at how we can amend that to bring more protection to mostly tenants, but we also have to be aware that we have to ensure that we're fair to landlords, but we want to ensure that individuals who rent are not do not fall victim to unfair practices, rapid escalations, etc. And so the public will be hearing more about that, particularly as we go back into Parliament in October.
Minister Halkitis also addressed measures to give tenants a stronger voice, highlighting plans to open doors for rent-related complaints through the Consumer Protection Commission.
We are engaging more individuals to accept rent complaints. We have a small staff that deals with receiving rent complaints at our Consumer Protection Commission, which is on Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway. We're beefing up that staff so in Bahamians and renters can feel more confident coming forward with their complaints.
With household rents continuing to climb and families forced to make difficult choices, Minister Halkitis emphasized that the government will bring the necessary support and ensure their struggles won't be ignored. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
Thanks so much, Amaya. 92 aspiring customs officers said to be equipped with the knowledge needed to have a rewarding career in one of the country's largest revenue earners. The group of 74 new trainees, along with 12 servant staff members from the clerical section and 6 customs guards seeking to be reclassified, were welcomed into the family and congratulated by Customs Controller Ralph Monroe for answering the call to public service.
Over the next 6 months, you will be exposed on the field to aspects of customs. And in a classroom setting, you will be taught the various legislation governing the department's daily operation. To assist you in becoming a better rounded individual, you will be lectured to by stakeholders on civil society and our government departments, as well as representatives from financial services, industries, and the insurance sector. If you're going to be successful during your training, you will have to apply yourself and participate as your instructors seek to prepare you to be the future face of the department. Needless to say, because we are a uniform branch, you will also be required and expected to conform to the code of conduct of customs officers.
And while there will be quizzes as well as a final examination, Controller Monroe says what matters most is that the trainees simply pass. Chosen from hundreds of applicants, the 2025 class are said to be the best of the bunch. Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis admonished the group to not let the village down.
That you have 2 choices. You can suck your teeth in the morning and drag yourself out and look at your watch and be texting while the class is going on and basically get nothing out of it. Or you can apply yourself, get the knowledge, become educated in everything that's being imparted to you, and you'd be the better for it. The Financial Secretary spoke about the fact that, yes, you may begin as a customs officer, but there are opportunities throughout the public service. Some of you will be stationed at ports of entry, airports, for example. Sometimes you will be the second, amongst the first faces that our visitors see when they come to the Bahamas, and amongst the first faces that our residents see on their return to the Bahamas. And so you must be welcoming and professional.
Officials of the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence met today as they continue to agitate for revisions to the proposed National Junkanoo Authority bill, which the government expects to pass next month. The group has had several of its planned meetings with the government postponed. Most recently, they were expected to meet with the AG's office yesterday. However, that meeting was also put off. Corval Pyfrom was at JCNP's Norfolk House headquarters with this update.
More pushback tonight from the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence over this proposed National Junkanoo Authority bill, saying it's being left out of the discussions. Weeks back, there were 2 meetings between the JCMP and culture officials, one behind closed doors, the other an open forum. But since then, meetings have been postponed. On Tuesday, Culture Minister Mario Boleg sought to give some clarity on where things stood.
As you know, we have already adjusted the bill since we last made it public based on the recommendation from the public consultation we would have had. And so, as soon as we get their input, we will then make the final bill draft, I should say, to go to the public before I take it to the House in October.
About adjustments to the act gleaned through these consultations, the minister was vague.
I think it was something as relates to pension that they wanted persons to be involved with. Then I think clarity on job descriptions as it relates to the corporations, how they involvement in the management of the parades and whatever have you.
As for concerns that the delay in resolving this matter impacting the upcoming Junkanoo parades, Minister Boleg assures there's no need to panic.
It takes time to put an authority together. You just don't go and pick people off your fingers. You got to, the authority has to come together. They have to properly plan to be able to organize itself. You have to find a physical location for them to be in, set up themselves and start preparing themselves for upcoming parades, which will probably be next year. The 26-27 parades, but it will definitely not impact these upcoming parades.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Thanks so much, Corvell. Teachers, taxi cab drivers, custodians, bus drivers, and lecturers are among the most recent groups that have expressed disappointment and frustration about the way they feel they're being treated. The groups have all pointed the finger at the government, which they have alleged has not lived up to its promise. Despite the grievances, though, Labor and Public Service Minister, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, still believes the administration's record on labor relations remains strong.
We have 48 unions in our country. I feel that, and if you can look, you can see that there's only a few unions that continue to agitate. For the most part, the majority of the unions in our country, their matters have been ameliorated. They continue to dialogue with us socially and in a mature way, and that is evidence that labor relations is still, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many unions that we meet with on a quarterly basis, is moving in the right direction.
Still to come, a new magistrate sits on the bench. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good conch salad, Junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Attorney Abigail Farrington was appointed as a stipendiary and circuit magistrate effective September 1st. Ms. Farrington brings over a decade of public service experience to the judicial bench, having served as a chief counsel in the Department of Public Prosecution. She was called to the Bahamas Bar in 2009 and was highly effective at developing creative case strategies involving complex legal issues and obtaining positive results. She possesses strong legal acumen and has the ability, confidence, and experience to adjudicate efficiently and effectively. The judiciary welcomes Ms. Farrington's appointment and extends best wishes as she undertakes this critical role in the administration of justice. 80 delegates from across the region will be in the capital from September 5th to 12th for the 47th Regional Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Conference. Under the theme, Deepening Regional Democracy and Independent Parliament, the body is made up of some 180 branches across 9 geographic regions of the Commonwealth. Senate President, the Honourable Lachelle Adderley, says the aim is to promote knowledge of the constitutional, economic, social, and cultural aspects of parliamentary democracy.
The regional conference, we will also host the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians Conference and a youth parliament. The Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians Conference will examine and discuss issues pertinent to the advancement of women within the Commonwealth. The youth parliament will debate a resolution regarding climate change, the reduction of carbon footprint, and the need for climate justice.
The conference will be co-hosted by the Senate President and Speaker of the House of Assembly, the Honourable Patricia DeVoe, at Margaritaville and the British Colonial. Speaker DeVoe, who attended a previous conference in Turks and Caicos, revealed that she nominated the Bahamas for this year's event.
When we travel, we sell our country. So with this conference, we're looking to bring in 80-something plus delegates. So that's car rentals, that's restaurants, that's hotels, and so that's putting money in the economy. And so that is what we try to do when we travel as well, because that's what we do when we travel. We put money in those economies, as well as it's a learning experience, because it gives us an opportunity to get together as countries from all over the region and talk about things that can happen, like climate change and other things that can assist us as countries.
32 of the House of Assembly's 39 seats are occupied by men. And as the next general election draws nearer and the public's attention becomes more focused on who will make those candidate lists, a few women in politics weigh in on female representation and the need to once again get those numbers up. Cleopatra Murphy has that story.
Of the 39 seats in the House of Assembly, women account for just 7, highlighting that of the strides the country has made since the first woman voted in 1962 and Janet Bostwick elected as the first woman in the House of Assembly in 1982, women are still underrepresented in the political arena. Senate President Lachelle Adderley says it's one of the issues that will be tackled at the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians Conference next week, a part of the 47th Regional Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Conference.
We know what the impediments are, so it's a matter of addressing those impediments. And we're also going to look at various aspects such as gender scrutinization, also with respect to budgeting, which impacts, and also the legislation, looking at it from a gender bias lens.
She hopes more women will be motivated to enter frontline politics. This is as the Bahamas braces for a general election next year, one where so far the opposition has named 9 female candidates, while who will run on the governing Progressive Liberal Party's ticket has yet to be revealed. The party has 7 sitting female members of Parliament. House Speaker Patricia DeVoe says with the female commissioner of police, a female Senate president, and a female House Speaker, the country has a lot to brag about.
We have females playing major roles in the development of country. So I believe that when we talk about barriers exist. Yes, they do. But I don't think that barriers are there to stop us from doing and excelling in what we are. We're always going to have barriers as women. Because as women, yes, males are always going to give us a very tough time.
As a woman in politics and a female House Speaker, DeVoe knows all too well the challenges women face.
Control is a barrier, and males do not like women to take control. And so that has been something that I have been battling from day one, but it's nothing to set back because everybody knows my style.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
It's a tight race to the finish in Jamaica's 19th general election. At this hour, the results are still being tallied as more than 2 million Jamaican voters are closely watching to see who will win. Jamaican voters are choosing between Dr. Andrew Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party's bid for a historic third term and Mark Golding's People's National Party's quest for a return to power. On the line are 63 parliamentary seats with 184 candidates vying for power. The JLP and PNP have each entered a full candidate slate, while the Jamaica Progressive Party is contesting 43 constituencies. The United Independence Congress is contesting 7, and there are 9 independent candidates. Of the 190 candidates in total, 136 are men and 54 are women. Ensure that you stay tuned for all the latest results of the 2025 general elections in Jamaica. September ushering in a month-long campaign to raise awareness and end the stigma surrounding the neurodegenerative disease Alzheimer's. One event, one family, one conversation at a time. Daniel Dean speaks to the association members for this week's edition of Health Matters.
Alzheimer's. We hear about its impact, but what do we know about it besides the fact that it's a disease that causes forgetfulness? September is Alzheimer's Awareness Month. President of the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association, Wendy Poitier, is on a mission to mount an effective public educational campaign.
We want to bring awareness about the disease and to bring it out of the back room. You know, people, if the person has Alzheimer's or dementia, they're hiding them away. But no, we want to bring the conversation out. We want to start the conversation. We want to have that stigma that is associated with the disease.
And no, Alzheimer's is not an inevitable part of getting older.
A lot of healthcare professionals themselves believe that Alzheimer's is a form of aging, but it's not. It's a brain disease. It's a reduction in cognitive ability, and it can start from as young as 40 years old.
Poitier believes a national comprehensive policy should be implemented for those affected and those that help to take care of them.
In 2017, the government of the Bahamas signed on with World Health Organization that they will implement a national dementia plan. Unfortunately, we don't have that as yet, but we at the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association are trying to work with our government and trying to encourage that.
The association has a slate of activities planned this month. Tune into the Bahamas Tonight Access now to find out what. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
An important story. Thanks so much, Danielle. Amajal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Amajal?
And Jazz gets hit number 500. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Where you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one-topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, VAT included, boy.
I need the $10 special plate.
How many of them would you like?
20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. The Marcos got that deal, boy.
Welcome to your Wednesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Bahamian baseball superstar Jazz Chisholm Jr. getting his 500th career hit last night in grand fashion after one of the best months of his career in August. Chisholm starting off September just as hot as he was. He hit a towering shot to right field, collecting a career-extending 27th home run of the season and his 500th career hit. Tuesday, Chisholm later added a 28th home run of the season, leading the Yankees to a 7-1 win over the Houston Astros. It was the 4th multi-home run game of the season for Chisholm and the 9th of his career.
I just feel like I stick to the plan, you know. My approach is the right way, and just having a good game plan and trusting my teammates on what they seen before I got into the box. You get them a little bit up and push them up and take your normal swing, which they mean me personally. Jazz, take your swing, and you're gonna hit a home run to right field. And I was like, okay, let's see. So the first pitch, I didn't get him up enough on the first pitch, and I fouled it back. And I was like, okay, I see what he was talking about. And then for some reason, The other one was like right in the spot that he was talking about, and I just swung. Like I didn't even think about like trying to pull it, trying to go opposite field. I just swung the bat like how I know how to swing the bat, and it was a homer. So, I mean, the scouting reports work.
So in baseball, hoping to join Jazz in the majors at some point in the distant future is Bahamian baseball prospect Ryan Reckley. San Francisco Giants announcing earlier this week that they will be promoting Reckley to their High A affiliate in Eugene. Reckley had a .259 batting average with a .394 on-base percentage for the month of August for the San Jose Giants. He's currently ranked the 35th best prospect in the entire organization. San Jose sports team caught up with him, discussed the move, as well as his journey and improvement from rookie ball to now.
Great feeling being promoted, you know, all the work I put in. How the season went this year wasn't where I wanted to go stats-wise, but I was able to, you know, bounce back and have some good months and have some good, you know, at-bats. So I was able to take advantage of the opportunity I had and just grateful for the opportunity and ready to get back on. Getting into it myself, getting into it my swing, you know, I had a lot of coaches to help me along the way. They just tried to help me the best they can, and the Giants did a really good job for just letting me be myself and just going out there and having fun, not thinking too much. Back from, I think it was a fractured vertebrae. I just think getting on my 2 feet was the best thing I was able to get back doing. So I think just putting one foot in front of the other was where I was able to find my stride, and I just kept on going.
Also speaking on representing the Bahamas, being amongst a handful of Bahamian baseball players in the minor leagues, also taking inspiration from our lone superstar in the MLB.
Great to represent the country, you know. Bahamas has always been on my back since a little kid. I just think just going up and showing up and saying, hey, I'm from the island, and say, this is what we do. I can do this too, just as much as we can. I think that's what I try to do every day and just inspire, you know, the kids coming up. That's a milestone, man. 500 hits, it takes a lot to get there, I think. I was one of the guys I really looked up to when I was younger, and he was always like, hey, I want to be like that guy, or hey, I want to do what he does. And I think he's a great inspiration for all the kids that's coming up, and he's a great inspiration to me as well.
College football news, Bahamian wide receiver with the USC Trojans, Prince Strawn, showed just how valuable he could be in their offense this season, catching a pass for 25 yards in their opener against Missouri State. The Trojans silenced the Bears, winning emphatically 73-13 with their home field at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum on Saturday. Strawn was used primarily as a third down receiver and showed speed, agility, and elusiveness in this third quarter reception. So the Trojans, they will be back in action on Saturday, taking on Georgia Southern University in Los Angeles. That's one look at your sports on this Wednesday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Well, it's now time for your final weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. We continue to keep our eyes on that area of showers and thunderstorms several hundred miles to the west-southwest of the Cape Verde Islands, and it has a very good chance of development. We're putting that at 80%, meaning that any time now we can see a tropical depression forming in the far eastern Atlantic over the next several days as we head into the weekend. And then we take a look now at satellite picture, and we see we continue to have lots of moisture across the northwest and central Bahamas. That's associated with that front boundary, which has now drifted into our area, and we expect it to now back up over the northwest Bahamas over the next 24 to 36 hours, meaning these showers and thunderstorms will remain in place for the next several days, taking us through the weekend and the early part of next week, so they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So some of these showers are going to be locally heavy at times, resulting in localized ponding, particularly in low-lying areas of the Bahamas. And our temperatures around the islands this evening, 84 degrees in Marshall, Babaco. Green Turkey, 82. 82 also in Freeport, Grand Bahama. In the Berry Islands, they have a temperature there of 77. That means there's some showers taking place there in the Berry Islands. 82 in Alderstown, Bimini. 84 in Harbour Island. Roxanne, Lutra, 83. Alderstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey at 82. Georgetown, Exuma, 1 degree up at 83 degrees, 82 again in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, 84 degrees, Ackles, 84, 85 degrees in Matthewtown, Niagara, and the Turks and Caicos Islands also reporting 85 degrees at this hour. Now, your forecast for tonight, this is how things are going to shape up. We're looking at cloudy, very warm again tonight with a couple of thunderstorms still in the mix. Your low temperature tonight, 81 degrees, and tomorrow we're looking at another cloudy day with thunderstorms in our forecast, particularly in the afternoon hours. Anytime afternoon, you will see those thunderstorms starting to develop with your high temperature getting up to 87 degrees. And your extended weather forecast looking like this. Wet pattern remain in place right through the weekend into the early part of next week. So all I can tell you is to keep those rain gears very, very handy over the next several days. Royce.
Thanks, Basil. And make sure with these wet conditions to continue to be safe on the roads. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Back to school season is here, and we want to see those fits. Parents, show off your little one's fresh first day looks. And students, yes, you can flex your own drip too. Just snap it, send it, and shine on TV. Text your